I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 503. I want to talk to you about the idea that, you really can eat anything you want. Stay tuned. Welcome to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Hi, everybody. How are you today? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, starting to get a little chilly. All the leaves have blown away. They're all gone. Amazing. Last week, there was still color on the trees. It was beautiful outside. And now, all gone. The wind came through, the rain came through, and the leaves blew away. Just like they're supposed to. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. And like I've probably said before, that's a good thing. You know what? I'm not in control of a lot of things here, people. I'm not in control of the weather. That is for sure. But this is the thing that I am in control over. And this is the topic of my podcast every single time, is what we do have control over is what we think about the weather or about any circumstance in life, anything. What your significant other, what they say to you or what they don't say to you, the weather, like I said before, the election. I don't even want to get into it, but I know you all have a lot of thoughts about it. Know that those thoughts are what create whatever feeling you're feeling. It's not the election itself. It's your thinking about it. All you got to decide is, I want to think it or I don't want to think it. Either or, but those are where the feelings come from. So the topic for today is really more about the feeling of fear and where it comes from. So what I'm saying so far is your emotions are your feelings. They come from your thinking, not from your actual circumstance, which actually means, what is a circumstance? It's something that you can prove in court. It's factual. It's something that everybody agrees on. For instance, if you get on the scale and it has a number, that is a circumstance. That's a number. You can prove it in court. But what you feel about that number has everything to do with what your mind thinks about it. And that is really important to understand, especially as Thanksgiving is coming around and all the holidays are coming around. I want to help you change your feeling of fear and scarcity to one of abundance and hope and peace. And I think that the actual holidays themselves seem to create a lot of emotions. The only reason they do is because you think a lot of things. So I want to offer you this for the holidays, is what if you decided now that what you actually wanted to feel was either love or, how about this, confidence in yourself about anything that you decide to do. Because I think when we sit down to eat, and I'm just using eating because I use eating for everything. I'm a weight coach, so of course I talk about eating a lot. But you know what? You guys all know this by now. Like, yes, I'm a weight coach. I deal with weight, but only because it's a symptom of your mind. So really what I am is I'm a mind coach. But you know what? If I said I'm a mind coach, nobody would want to talk to me. Your weight has big emotions. Your thoughts about your weight have big emotions. And that really is what you're trying to rectify. You want to feel better. And I think the reason that you want to hire me or you want to listen to my podcast is because you want to feel better. I think you want to stop being afraid about the number on the scale, about what you're eating, about what your body looks like. I think you want to stop that. And I think what you want to do is I would think you would like to go to a point where you could create more peace and freedom around this topic. So as Thanksgiving is coming around, I want to offer you some possibilities of how you can think. And here's one thought that I think will serve you the best, not only for the holidays, but for the rest of your life. It's what I teach. You know, I'm doing a group right now, and we're really working through the holidays. And the main thing that I'm teaching, the main thought that I want to teach, that I want people to try on until it fits. And that's all the thing about thoughts, right? Is that you can have a beautiful thought like, oh, I'm so confident. I know I'll never eat anything I don't want again. I know that. But if you don't believe that, then when you try that thought on, it doesn't fit. So it doesn't work. What I want to offer you is to start trying on thoughts that fit. Now, how do you know if they fit? By how they feel in your body, because thoughts create emotions. So if you have more of these feelings of struggle and hopelessness and desperateness around your body, around food, around the holidays, it's not working, and it's only because of what you're thinking. So what I've been training my clients in my groups and individually is how to start working with your mind with the thought that I can eat anything I want. Because here's the truth. You can, and you do. But you don't do it from that thought. You do it more from a thought like, I can't eat it. And then you go ahead and quote unquote, eat whatever you want. And it's never in your best interest because you're coming from a feeling of deprivation and restriction and fear, right? I can't have it. It'll make me fat. I'll never be able to do this. Normal people can do it, but I can't. I'm not normal. All those kind of thoughts create those feelings. And guess what the action is you always end up overeating and doing things you don't want to do. So when you can try on a thought like, I can eat anything I want, and you try it on and you can feel it in your body that you believe it, that means that when you're sitting in front of anything and you know you can have it, you know you can eat whatever you want, then that prefrontal cortex of yours actually comes in and says, but do I really want it? Is it really going to give me what I want? And you know what? A lot of the time, the answer is no. I don't even like the way it's going to feel. I don't even like it that much. My clients say that to me all the time. I don't even like it that much. And then they eat a whole bag of it. And it's all because of that negative emotion of deprivation and restriction coming from the thought that I can't. So as you're going through these holidays, I want you to start thinking about, of course, you can eat anything you want. You've seen yourself do it a million times. But if you're getting a negative result, it's because when you think the thought, I can eat whatever I want, it creates entitlement, which means that you can go against your body, that somehow you deserve something that you don't really, really want. As opposed to, I can eat anything I want, and it makes you feel powerful and confident. And it's different. It creates different feelings. And for you, it's time to start practicing it. And the way that you practice it is you start noticing what happens when you're overeating or when you're eating a bunch of joy eats, when you're binging on joy eats, which of course, if you're binging on joy eats, the joy eat does not become a joy eat anymore because you're not enjoying it. You're using it to cover up emotion. So as you're going through this week, I really want you to consider the thought, I can have whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want. And really teach yourself to believe it. And if you can't, if that thought, when you try it on, doesn't fit, I want you to try this. It's possible that I can believe that I can eat whatever I want. Other human beings do it. Maybe I can do it too. And maybe your brain will open up. Maybe it'll peek out a little bit and go, maybe I can do that. It's possible. So when you use those words, it's possible that I can learn to eat whatever I want. It's possible that I can think that I can eat whatever I want. your brain may help you go towards it. 2, I can eat whatever I want. And I will tell you, it was really a journey for me, and I watch the journey for my clients as they go to, I can't eat that, and I'm afraid to eat that, and if I eat that, I'm going to eat the whole bag. These are all beliefs and thoughts about yourself that only create lots of overeating and create the opposite of freedom and create the opposite of peace. It's everything you don't want. So this week, as Thanksgiving is approaching, as more of the holidays are approaching, is that I can eat whatever I want. And you know what the difference is? Is like when I think about that for myself, and it's a bag of potato chips, because for me, that's what I really believed I could not eat. I really believed potato chips had some kind of power over me. I know, just like you. But what happened and what is happening and what does happen now is a bag of potato chips can sit in my pantry. And I can look at them, and they can look at me. We can say hello. I can even say, I love you, and I can pass them by. Or I could say, I used to love you. Because you know what? That's really funny when I say that, because a lot of my clients tell me how much they love a food. Oh, I love candy so much, or I love those biscuits so much, or whenever I go there, I have to have them because they're my favorite. You know, talking to yourself like that, is going to create so much desire that it's going to be hard not to eat it, right? So even changing the way you think about some of your foods is really important so that you end up in the place of, I really don't want it. Like a 3-year-old kid. No, I don't want it. They just don't, and nobody can convince you to eat it. I can't convince a 3-year-old if they don't want it. My grandson, you think I could convince him of anything when it comes to food? He either wants it or he doesn't. He's hungry or he's not. That's what you want to do. That's what I help people do. So for this week, start working on these thoughts. It's possible that I can believe that I can eat whatever I want. Just what do I want? And your brain starts thinking about, well, what do you want? Not just what do you want in the moment, instant gratification, boom, big candy, big cookies, it tastes so good. But what do you want? Period. And that's where you want to live. It's possible that I can eat whatever I want. It's possible that I can think that I can eat whatever I want. Because here's the truth. If you believe you can't, you will anyway. And the desire will be so much bigger. When you start bringing yourself to the place of believing that it's possible, that you can believe that you can eat whatever you want, you decrease your desire for whatever it is. It's a perfect thought to use in the upcoming weeks. So, you know what I'm going to say to you as I end this podcast, because I do it every single time. Well, actually, I'm going to say 2 things. One is, have you reviewed my podcast lately? Because guess what? I've done 1 million downloads. I forgot to tell you that in the beginning, but I just have to tell you that before I get off. 1 million downloads. And I do not think I've got a lot of reviews, but not as many downloads. So if you're listening to this and you're loving everything that I'm talking about, you know what? Go to iTunes and please review this podcast if you love it and give it 5 stars and tell people why they should listen to it. The holidays are coming. People need this work. If you love it, review it. And as always, no matter what else you do this week, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change, and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change, CHANGE.